All right, welcome back. It's late October 1863. Um, Here's how things currently stand in central Kentucky. Grant has a force power of about 6,000, and we have Jackson holding here in Montgomery and Breckenridge holding in Gallatin. Now, I'm sending Forrest to Nashville so he can be promoted. And coming from Nashville, Morgan's division will take his place. So I guess the other big thing is that we almost have a full division back in um, Fort Henry and Donelson here, and we have Polk holding in Henry, Tennessee, and AP Hill will take over the defenses here in Columbus while Johnson's Army of the Tennessee recovers. Out west, we ran into some supply issues, so I'm hoping that Baylor will be able to assault and actually take Fort Fetterman this turn. Otherwise, as you can see, we have limited supply, so we'll sort of take. Well, actually, in this turn, we'll take some supply. We'll take some supply hits. So hopefully, we'll take the fort and gather the supply there. Um, as you can see, there have been some slight changes here in the Virginia defense. We now have a division holding here in Henrico, and Early's division has moved over um, to City Point. A small force is going back to Suffolk, and Huger will take over the defenses there. Down in Pensacola, the Union force was able to escape, mostly intact. Well, not mostly intact. Probably about half. They lost about half their forces. So I don't really know where to send the army, to send Johnston's army. So we'll hold here for a turn and see which way the Union moves. Out west, Shelby is 3 days from arriving in Fort Scott, and so should be able to arrive there and then rest and resupply. Quantrill's force will try to assault Fayetteville this time again, or finish it, and hopefully we can finish defeating the Union forces that are few militia units in Texas. Okay, so let's run the turn and see what happens. Okay, so three things happen that are pretty important. One is we were able to take Fort Fetterman. We lucked out actually there were no Union forces there, and it's also well stocked with general supply and a little bit of ammo. So we'll be able to restock here. So that's a big plus. In Kentucky, the Union did assault Bowling Green and destroyed the Confederate brigades that were forming there. One thing that's interesting is take a look at this: return neutral value -7. So that's a big drop. So don't really know how that's calculated, but supposedly, or more or less, if your morale is above 100, it will slowly go down. If it's below 100, it'll slowly go up. Well, in this case, a drop of 7 is quite a bit. The other thing is we're starting to form a defensive line here in Carthage as well to protect against any sort of flanking maneuver. Fortunately, we were able to actually destroy the railroads there. Shelby has arrived and was pretty much out of supply. So here's the Union force led by Blunt facing it. So interesting. Yeah, when you put it as partisan unit, there we go. Yeah, that was kind of weird with the power. So there is a lot of supply here in Fort Scott. So Shelby's force will be able to resupply. AP Hill was attacked again, or more specifically, the force here in Columbus was attacked again. You can see Johnson's forces are still recovering, but A.B. Hill's divisions are in pretty good shape. So let's take a look at that battle. Here it is. So, and you can see that the two divisions that participated are A.P. Hill's division and Hayes. So the Union had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divisions that participated. So a lot more divisions there. Although the power is actually now about even. Grant did not move other than assault, so they're still here in Bowling Green. Out in Virginia, no movement. You can see here's our new kind of defensive positions. Here's what it looks like. This is to basically stop a river crossing where they're going to cross the James River and move on Petersburg. Yeah, I didn't really see too much movement up here. The Union force has gone to Fort Pickens, so that's where, yeah, they've gone over to Fort Pickens. We were able to destroy a railroad here, and we can also see that the Union has a pretty large force here in Cairo. Looks like Reynolds' Corps or detachment has moved from Missouri to Cairo. Let's see if we're able to. Yeah, we were able to destroy the railroads here as well. So not a super busy turn, a little bit of action. Union morale is now at 68. As far as victory points go, we have a little more than double. Okay, let's see if there are any interesting messages. Okay, several units trained. Forrest Hill have been promoted to the rank of general. This is good news. We were able to capture Fayetteville. So you can see Quantrill is now taken it. So at least for the moment, the Union has given up Arkansas. Here was the where the brigades that were formed in Bowling Green were defeated by Grant. And okay, so Van Dorn's force took Fort Mitchell, and as with the other one, there was not a Union force even there. It's really nice that Fort Fetterman has so many supplies, so we'll be able to completely resupply, including the supply wagon as well. Okay, let's see, we have epidemics in... Ooh, unfortunately, epidemics has in Pensacola. And Smith. Fort Smith, yeah. So pretty much it. Relatively quiet turn. I think we have a pretty good defensive line here. What we'll be able to do now is essentially have Jackson in control of a corps that will proceed from the west at Columbus all the way east through Gallatin and then south to Smith, Tennessee, and Nashville. So it's a pretty strong position. Right now, the main threat is probably Breckinridge's corps here, which is relatively strong, but with Grant, and this is clear terrain, so they will be able to use artillery to pretty good effect. Okay, see you next time.